The Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation says the Thermopolis police sergeant who killed a man earlier this year had been cleared of other complaints prior to the April incident. Wyoming's Congressional delegation is concerned that President Biden could be using support for Israel to get money for Ukraine. And the federal government is paying $2 million to protect a Wyoming toad. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Kaur for Cowboy State Daily. The Thermopolis police sergeant who broke into a man's home, triggered a shootout, and killed the man had been cleared of other professional complaints just 1 week prior. The Wyoming Division of Criminal Investigation released its report this week on Sergeant Michael Mascoro's shooting and killing of 33-year-old Thermopolis resident Buck Larimore and outlined previous allegations of misconduct that occurred prior to the April incident. DCI records show that Mascoro had been investigated in July of 2022 for alleged use of force misconduct and an alleged improper or illegal traffic stop, but the sergeant had been cleared of those claims by Wyoming Peace Officer Standards and Training, or POST. POST investigated another incident in 2021 where it was alleged that Mascoro unnecessarily escalated a bar check situation that turned into a fight. And he was also accused in 2020 of using excessive force by kicking a man to the ground during his arrest, a charge for which he was also cleared. President Joe Biden Thursday urged Congress to support a funding package for both Israel's and Ukraine's war efforts, a move he said will pay dividends for American security for generations. But political reporter Leah Wolfson says that Wyoming's delegation has had mixed reactions to the president's request. He reports that Senators Cynthia Lummis and John Barrasso and Representative Harriet Hageman are hesitant at best to combine these funding packages together.
Most of them have at least tepid support for providing money to Israel, but none of them, especially Lummis and Hageman, love the idea of combining this money with support for Ukraine, which at least both Lummis and Hageman have pretty consistently opposed.
Congress has provided $113 billion in funding to Ukraine since the start of its war in early 2022. Although she has generally supported Ukraine in its fight against Russia, Lummis has consistently opposed America directly funding its war efforts. The federal government recently bought roughly 1,000 acres near Laramie as a preserve for the rare and endangered Wyoming toad in hopes of helping the toad population recover. Outdoors writer Mark Hines reports that federal officials hope that the $2 million purchase will help secure the future of the endangered species that's unique to the Laramie Basin.
They were almost wiped out by this fungal disease that's spread among amphibians, so they're trying to get the toad population to recover. And then the long-term value of this is they can study the dynamics of this fungus disease because it infects amphibians all over the world. And so I guess Wyoming toads are doing their part to save amphibians all over the world.
I'll be back with more news right after this.
At Hilltop Bank, we understand that buying a home is a big decision. That's why we're here to be your trusted partner on the path to home ownership. Our experienced mortgage team will guide you every step of the way, from pre-approval to closing. We offer competitive rates and a wide variety of home loan options to best suit your needs. With our local knowledge and personalized service, you'll feel confident and comfortable throughout the entire home buying process. Contact us today to start your journey toward home ownership. Hilltop Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Arguing that abortion is not health care, 4 Wyoming doctors are asking Teton County District Court Judge Melissa Owens to let them file a brief in an ongoing lawsuit on Wyoming's abortion bans. The doctors are hoping to state that professional obstetric standards take account of 2 or more patients, not just one, in pregnancy care. The lawsuit itself argues that Wyoming's abortion bans, which are paused during the case, will cause irreparable harm, characterizing pregnancy as dangerous in general. Outdoors writer Mark Hines is doing a series on hunting in all 23 counties in Wyoming. For Sweetwater County, Mark says the elk herds are doing great, but similar to the situation in Carbon County, antelope and deer herds suffered massive winter kill losses.
Kind of that whole stretch of the bottom line of counties running across southern Wyoming there, that's really where the absolute worst of the winter kill hit this past winter. And of course, Sweetwater County was right in the middle of it. The elk herds did okay. They pulled through okay. Apparently the elk hunting's still really good there. Antelope, not quite so good. Now, the good news is, as these herds start to recover, all the moisture, all the snow, plus all the rain we got all throughout the summer has created some really great forage for the animals. So the animals that did survive are doing very well going into this next winter.
And months months into a so far fruitless search for a new law enforcement officer for tiny Hanna, Wyoming, the town of about 700 nestled along Highway 30 between Rawlins and Medicine Bow is more vulnerable to criminal influences. Perhaps that can explain the recent thefts at the local Hanna hometown market, as Cowboy State Daily's Greg Johnson reports.
Apparently, when there's no law enforcement around, people just go wild. Now they're resorting to stealing the toilet paper out of the local supermarket's bathroom, to the point where the supermarket has put out a plea on Facebook, please don't steal our toilet paper.
Johnson said no one in town has yet owned up to the thefts.
But I hear it's the town's number 2 priority.
And that's today's news. If you're ready to unlock your daily dose of Wyoming, sign up for the Cowboy State Daily newsletter to stay in the know. Some of the best local reporting in the Cowboy State will be delivered to your inbox daily. Just sign up at www.cowboystatedaily.com. I'm Wendy Core for Cowboy State Daily.